All right, you absolute legends. The vlogs are up to date. I have got a day of meetings. I'm out on the bike pretty much all day today. But first, we know what comes first. As someone who froths on videos, used to go to the video store to hire VHS tapes, this is really quite sad to see. But it is 2017 and we've had Netflix and digital downloads for quite a few years now. It's not like the owners of the store haven't seen this coming. I mean, they would have seen slow drop off of their business over many years. So the question is, why didn't they get rid of the business a few years ago? Or why didn't they think about diversifying whatever they're doing? I'm in the city now. I'm actually catching up with the Bicycle Network crew. So the Bicycle Network run a whole range of rides here in Victoria, and we're going to have a chat and see what these guys are all about. How many coffees we all had today?
3. 2. So.
I'm on my 4th. Yes, how good's this? So this is the Bicycle Network office. This is where it all happens.
Yeah.
How good's this set up here? Do you guys ride to work?
Yeah.
Train. That's your.
No, this is my pride and joy.
Okay.
The cross bike.
That's the cross bike. It's got disc.
Every time someone rides into work, they just put a little tick next to their name. So once you get to 300 rides into work, you get a gold plaque.
Oh, how good's this? So the 300 club is 300 rides in.
Yep. So none of us have yet to feature on it, but.
Where are you at? What number?
110. 110, so we're getting close.
I'm less than 100 at the moment.
Less than 100, but you're only new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Team.
This is the team?
This is some of our team.
How are we?
Did I make the vlog?
Yeah.
You're in, mate.
That's what I wanted.
So these guys, this team, run a whole bunch of rides around Australia. Obviously, you don't run Amy's Grand Fondo, but the Around the Bay...
Peaks Challenge is probably one of our bigger ones.
Yeah, obviously Peaks is...
Yeah.
Everyone gets fit for Peaks.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've always wondered what the Bicycle Network is all about. I know that they do a lot of advocacy stuff and they do all these rides, but the guys are telling me that it's sort of like an ecosystem of feeding itself, and you'll probably be able to explain it better.
We don't really receive any government funding. We run a whole lot of events, and those events, the money that we make feeds back into our sort of goal to improve conditions for cyclists, get people on the bike, get people fit and healthy. So
yeah. I'm lucky enough to be part of 40 or 50 people here who are career team members. We work for Bicycle Network, but there's a team of about 2,000 volunteers who contribute to all of those things that we do. So there's Around the Bay, Great Vic, Peaks Challenge and membership is how we fund the organisation. That's 80 or 90% of our revenue, depending on other programs that we're doing at the time.
There's a couple of programs that do receive government funding for the parketeer, so the bike cages at train stations. We work closely with PTV to get those happening, but as a whole, it's all not-for-profit. Our biggest goal is just to get people fit and active, and to do that, we get people on bikes.
Yeah.
Around the Bay, minimum we have 10,000 people on that. At its highest, we've had 16,000 people participate on that.
Are you seeing an increase in that numbers or a drop-off over the years?
It peaked around about 2012, 2013 when there was just this massive enthusiasm from the entire community for mass participation events. So that's when Ironman, Marathon, all those other big events were at their peak as well. So we've seen it drop, but it's steady. So we see at least 10,000 people every year around the boat. I reckon the media beat up that happens from time to time, our CEO, without a doubt, a week or two wouldn't go past that he isn't on mainstream media defending why cyclists shouldn't be licensed or have registration, or poor behaviour that's happened on the road that has seen a cyclist seriously injured. Like, and this isn't just by fluke accident, it's through a negligent activity on the road. Now, whether that's the driver's fault, the rider's fault, trucks, taxis, whichever way you want to look at it. But a week doesn't go by that there's this defending of cyclists within the community. And to be honest, the media tend to grab a hold of it. And
why do the media jump on it?
They're an easy mark. It's easy to... it's not racist or sexist or biased to hook into a cyclist as a minority group, as a bunch of weirdos. I mean, if you replace the word cyclist with black man or Muslim or woman, the sentence would sound horrific, where they go, bloody cyclists, they're cockroaches, I make sure I swerve towards them. Now, if you said that to any other group of society and changed the word from cyclist to just about any other demographic, people would be horrified.
Car versus drivers, the war on bikes, all that language is so counterproductive, and that's where we see our role is to make sure that we're a really positive spokesperson for people who ride bikes. Yeah. Bike riding is a normal everyday activity. We're just simply getting around by bike. We're no different. We are ultimately people, and that's what we need to remind everyone, the media, the general public, social media, and I mean, you can't really buy into all of that negativity and all the trolls, because it doesn't matter what field you work in, they have their place. Yeah. Where it concerns us is when that starts to play out into real life and starts to impact attitudes and, I guess, behaviour on the road. I'd
love to see a federal bike fund. At the moment, there just isn't.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Like, all of the money, billions and billions that go into road networks. Yeah. And there isn't a dedicated federal bike budget of any substance. It's just not on their radar for whatever reason. And you look at it and you go, it's one of the cheapest bit of infrastructure you can put in. It ticks so many of their other boxes when you look at it, when you go, it's active living, social communities, active communities. Like, there's all these other agendas that governments have that fall off the side of their road infrastructure. But it's primary built. To the best of my knowledge, it is primarily built for cars, trucks, buses, motorbikes, and a tokenistic gesture on the side for bikes. Our ambition is to be a national organisation. I'd love to see all the state-based bodies come together and go to the federal government, as I say, with real clout. You can't ignore 100,000 members. Well, it certainly adds muscle to it.
All right, absolutely awesome bunch of humans. I really enjoyed that. Good chat, and really cool place to work, I reckon. All right, my long haul trucker was locked up, or has been locked up for about an hour and a half now, and I'm hoping that it's still there. I had one of those cable locks. Hannah and I just got back from our second berthing class, and I find it really interesting. Like, I really enjoyed it because they tell you so much stuff about, like, I'm quite nervous about Hannah through this whole process. I'm worried about her, and I know she's going to go through a lot of pain, and so I'm quite nervous about the whole experience. So it's really reassuring when they tell you stuff like when you should come in, that this is natural, this is normal. How many weeks are you now?
I'll be 30 weeks and 2 days.
Oh, yeah? Wow. Don't suck it in.